This 470-ton, 132-foot-long, 31-foot-high, and 31-foot-wide coke drum will be the heaviest and largest load hauled to date from Edmonton to the Fort McMurray oil sands projects. It's Premay Equipment's job to safely transport the multi-million-dollar vessel from Dacro Industries in Edmonton, where it was built, to its final destination at Suncor Energy, Tar Island, just north of Fort McMurray.
The vessel is called a coke drum. It's going to the Suncor plant at Fort McMurray. I think it's physically the largest vessel that we've moved. It's 30 feet diameter and around 100 feet long. The ring that you see is a little different way of supporting the vessel. Yeah, it's somewhat of an innovation.
How are the gussets on that side? Okay, coming down some more.
The challenge has been to design the carrying frame within a certain weight. Total weight is around 780 metric tons.
Once we got it sucked in, I'll push it in to where it's got to be the same on the saddles.
With precision and careful coordination, the specially designed transport frame is built around the coker.
If you want to take them up, I'll watch these feet that they don't go in there.
No simple task. The process takes 5 days.
They go through the 10 line in the yard.
We're carrying it on two trailers, and the rear trailer has 192 wheels and the lead trailer 160, so it's a total of 352 wheels. And the reason for that and the length of the unit is to spread the load out on the bridges that we cross.
With the loading process complete, the coker and the 7 tractor units that will haul it are ready for their choreographed night move through Edmonton. City police, road and utility crews work in tandem with Premay to ensure everything runs smoothly. It takes a considerable amount of coordination to move these huge loads out of Edmonton.
From day one, teamwork has been the only way that a project like this happens, right from the concept stage, coming up with the engineering concept of how to move the load, all the way through to even our subcontractors. Yeah, it's one big team effort. Probably got closer to 48 to 50 bodies on the ground here tonight.
Communication with you guys on the radios, keep it short and sweet, okay, pilot cars? Stripes for everybody. Coveralls, safety glasses, we won't require that. Any injuries, of course, have to be reported to myself or Don. We'll have to deal with it. If we can be ready to roll at 1 minute to 11 is when we like to do her.
Okay.
So.
Power lines are lifted or lowered, traffic light structures removed, street lights removed on corners, curbs are ramped to prevent damage to roadways. And because of the size of this load, even some of the street light head sections have to be removed. Edmonton Police Special Events Division and Premay pilot vehicles work ahead and behind the load, controlling traffic and ensuring safety for other road users. 5 hours later, the Coker is safely out of the city, where it will park overnight and start fresh at daybreak to begin its long trek to Fort McMurray. Extremely heavy loads can only be trucked to northern Alberta in the winter after the ground is frozen enough to support the massive weight on the paved highways. Premay's gargantuan load is restricted to daylight travel, and moving at about 20 kilometers an hour, it advances approximately 100 kilometers each day. Planning is crucial for these large, heavy moves, and for this move, preparations began over 2 years before. But all the planning in the world can't stop Mother Nature. The trip to reach Fort McMurray takes 4 days longer when temperatures dive to 40 below.
Well, obviously I'm on the front truck, so I'm pulling the load, and I got to keep communication with my push trucks on the back, and listen to Daryl.
Power on the left side here, Black.
And he's controlling traffic on the back. And he steers the trailer when we have to, so I communicate with him. And Rick Iverson, which is leveling the trailer. So I got to communicate with the Shirley operators and the push truck drivers.
Keep her coming right up, boys. We'll come right across this entrance here.
It takes everybody to take this down the road. It don't just take one. So that's where Premay is pretty good working as a team. It takes everybody to get her down the road, and if you work together, it's a little easier for everybody.
Safety is paramount on all Premay work. Job supervisors hold daily tailgate safety meetings with the drivers, pilots, power crews, and police escorts to explain the day's specific conditions, tasks, and goals.
Cold enough for you?
Tell me something about the vessel.
Well, we're running 7 trucks, between 5 and 7 trucks for the load. We've been on the road since last Wednesday we left, or last Tuesday night, so we're 2 weeks on the road. We've had a couple cold days there at Grassland where we had to shut down because it was too cold for power lines to be lifted. We made it to POE this afternoon about 2 o'clock. I spent 3 or 4 hours. Everybody went through the trailers and the load and checked everything, and now we're ready to go again.
Much the same as the night move out of Edmonton, travel through Fort McMurray is done after midnight to avoid traffic congestion and minimize the impact to the motoring public. Lots of braking control is required to slowly negotiate the steep downgrade at Beacon Hill. The bridge that crosses the Athabasca River in Fort McMurray has 7 long spans. UMA Engineering from Edmonton were hired to calculate the forces applied to the bridge by the Coker Transport and are on site to supervise the crossing.
Communication, you got to keep it open, you got to keep talking to guys all the time, or otherwise they don't know where you're at. It's been very good on this job because Suncor's put it out in in the papers and on the radio, so everybody knows we're coming, and public and all that has actually been really good. At the end of the day, you got to set up for the next day, so you check to see that the power crews are lined up for the next morning. I run ahead and check the hills then and the roads in the morning early, see if we need TSM to do any sanding or plowing on the roads and stuff like that.
We'll line up right down the middle, Max, where you want your push trucks nice and straight.
Okay, and we're going down here, guys.
The steepest hill on the way to the Suncor plant site is locally known as Super Test. Slippery sections on the hill are sanded for traction. It will take all 7 tractor units, 3 pulling and 4 pushing, working in unison, to move the near 900 tons up the hill. Stopping is not an option. Just before the Suncor North Gate entrance, the load has to articulate 2 90-degree turns. Keeping the load level regardless of the pavement slope is crucial and is controlled from the rear hydraulic trailer. The approach road to the Suncor North Gate entrance was widened to allow the load to enter the plant site. On January 18, 2005, after 800 kilometers and 13 days on the road, the Koker safely reaches its destination at Tar Island through the planning, expertise, and teamwork of the Premay crew.